sweethearts and lovelies, and welcome back to Quantum Leap Reviews, where
Save us all!
we're after discussing Doctor Who.
Mike! Oh, Mike!
Save us all!
I just need to do a little bit of research here to get to our main topic. It won't take that long. Oops, that was the wrong button to click. That was the wrong button to click. That was the wrong button to click. That probably came through on the thing. But
No, it didn't.
well, I'm recording, so it probably came through on the thing, but it's funny. So, in episode 27 of Revolutionary Girl Utena, Nanami's Egg, we have a poignant metaphor for women. We can't escape it, can we?
Because I'm gonna state this right now. The episode we're watching is the best episode of the Evil Leaper trilogy. The third part is a little bit better, but oh dear God, why do we have to cover Deliver Us from Evil? Why? Oh God.
No, we don't. We're gonna speak about this. Okay,
Yeah.
Regrettably, to set this up, kids,
See,
we
Mike,
are back.
I can't answer that question. I can't answer why we have to cover Deliver Us from Evil. It's because you made us listen to Zagreus, you motherfucker.
Yeah, Zagreus isn't bad. If you just let your mind open.
Random gibberish.
Yeah, it is. It's bonkers.
No.
That's
Random
not what I said
gibberish.
about Alice in Wonderland, you motherfucker.
Okay, I forgot about that. I swear to God.
What's more meaningful to the canon, to the literary canon, the works of Lewis Carroll or Doctor Who lore? So these kids had a time on Doctor Who reviews with Zagreus.
Yeah.
But we're about to have a time here because we are discussing the Evil Leaper. We're back in season 5, which is bombastic, is weird, and just going for it with macrocosmic shit. And nowhere is this more evident, perhaps, than the Evil Leaper saga. A trio of episodes focused on another Leaper named Alia and her hologram Zoe, who are the diametric opposites of Sam and Al. They leap in time to put wrong what once went right and make things worse. And so we're once again back to this anti-time horse shit. Same thing as the Grace. Absolute dualism. Oh boy.
I will say this though, that Boogeyman kind of set this up a bit, and I say that because in season 3, Sam outright meets the devil. Now you could say that it was a dream.
Yeah,
you
could
have
say plausible deniability.
Yeah, plausible deniability, but he does in that episode meet the devil.
Honestly, it's more interesting to have it be the devil than to have it be some dualist bullshit involving evil leapers.
And they go hard on this, and that's my main problem.
They go hard. That's the main. But one of the ideas that was thrown around is that after because to the devil, what Sam said is, "I'm just trying to get home." Like that's it. Like I'm trying, but as he kept continuing doing that after, eventually we ended up with people sent back in time to do the polar opposite of Sam's journey. And also, if they were to run into Sam Beckett, to just kill Sam Beckett dead, no questions asked.
Now, I have a lot of problems with this.
Which is that tie-in to the devil.
Here's the thing of this. A lot of Quantum Leap fans like it. I've got the Beyond the Mirror Image, the book by the late Matt Dale, and he basically says that this two-parter, and it was a two-parter originally, Return of the Evil Leaper and the next episode, Revenge of the Evil Leaper, aired as one 19-minute movie, but they're separate now on Blu-rays and what have you. But he called it
we're going to treat them as separate episodes.
Yeah, we're treating them as
they are separate.
But yeah, people go gaga for this shit. Oh my god, it's Evil Leapers, it's lore, it's crazy shit. And I fucking hate it because of my specific reason for watching this show was to escape that bullshit. I watched Enterprise and I went mad. I watched the Chibnall years of Doctor Who and went mad. There was some other bullshit to watch, and Quantum Leap was my detox from that. It was me going, okay, get me out of this bullshit, get me out of this fanbrain before I get really fucking mad and steamy and turn into a ranting, angry nerd. Just get me something that matters. And I got that in Quantum Leap. I got a show that was about, or saving ordinary people, making their lives better. And then season 5 comes around, and not only is it like, hey, here's real history: Lee Harvey Oswald, Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley. But now it's starting to go up its own ass with, ooh, here's evil leapers, and here's some lore behind them, and it just becomes this bullshit low rent sci-fi show.
Yeah.
Though in defense of the Lee Harvey Oswald one, that was very much the creator of the show reacting to somebody, reacting to the JFK movie and having known Lee Harvey Oswald.
And
he met him in the army one time.
Yeah, he met him in the army and got like I think his son or one of his family members came back and told him about it, and he flat out said, "No,
Okay.
no," and so he wrote JFK as a. What are you people What are you people doing? No, he did it himself. This is how.
Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting
it could be read as this was not so much something that was planned, but was a happy accident.
There is some merit to the fact that Donald Belisario was so pissed off at Oliver Stone that he wrote an entire 90-minute TV movie to be like, no, fuck you! But yeah, it opened the floodgates, so to speak, for season 5, and nowhere is it more possible than in the Evil.
On the other hand, the Kisses with History throughout the show kind of inevitably set up an entire episode that's nothing but a kiss with history.
That's true too.
Hi, Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
Hi, Buddy Holly. Oh, hi, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, hi, Michael Jackson.
Hi, Bill Clinton. Oh, hi, Donald Trump.
Okay.
Wait, did he meet Bill Clinton?
Yeah, he meets Bill Clinton in the Elvis one.
Oh my God, he does!
Damn it!
Oh God, he does!
Okay. So the episode opens by retroactively calling what was the first episode with the Evil Leapers called "Deliver Us from Evil," and it retroactively calls it Evil Leaper 1 reprise before showing the basic gist of it. Now, we are glossing over this, A, because we need to save some gas in the tank for whenever we inevitably spin that on the wheel, and B, I don't want to talk about this fucking episode more than I have to!
Yeah, I know. Deliver it, like, how much we hated Song from the South, Deliver Us from Evil is going to be 10 times worse. Like, the three of us, like, literally that podcast will be an hour and a half of us just screaming into our microphones. Because that episode is legitimately taking everything what Sam did to help Jimmy's life be better and almost flushes it down the toilet.
Okay, save something you can.
Even the stuff that we see in the previously on episode makes me want to murder people.
Oh, you don't even know. But so to set it up briefly as possible, to give you as little context as possible, because
there is an evil leaper.
There's an evil leaper with an evil hologram. They encountered Sam. They tried to ruin the Leapy's life, and Sam saved the day. The evil leapers burst or whatever while swearing vengeance. I'll get you next time, Beckett, next time. And also,
not even Aaliyah. Aaliyah doesn't say it. Zoe says that.
Yeah, Zoe the hologram, played beautifully, I will add, by Carolyn Seymour. She owns the role. Bitchy, evil British hologram. I'll give it to that. But,
like all American productions, you can tell somebody is evil because they have a British accent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and she goes 100%. Like
Aaliyah, meanwhile, is just assigned British at birth.
Yeah, but Zoe is out of the duo. If anyone, Aaliyah is this forced on. Like she doesn't in the first episode, she doesn't want to do it, but Zoe's like, you will do this. You will do this. And we'll find out later on that she suffers consequences for not doing it.
Yay. That's
yeah.
the lore. But okay, and also want to add that once the evil leapers are defeated, they literally hit the reset button, and all the bad shit that they ruined is just sort of swept under the rug and forgotten about. It's a very messy resolution.
Yeah, I'm not touching this episode until we have to touch it.
Yeah. So we've gotten that out of the way.
Maybe having a recurring baddie would be fine, but the way it sounds, it's just doing generic sci-fi shit instead of the interesting stuff of having an alternate view of what history should be. Like, say, if Sam was put into a position where he was where from his perspective that he's supposed to save save somebody's life in the moment, whereas the evil leapers are looking at the history from a more or long-term scale. This person does some good, but the results of that good lead to some greater evil that must be prevented. Sort of like in the Seventh
That's
Doctor, I think Paul Cornell has a scene where the Seventh Doctor spends his nights doing odd things like moving couches from places, and in one of the more or telling bits, preventing relationships from ever happening. In which, yeah, that could be an interesting perspective for an antagonistic force within the show. Oh, somebody whose idea of what must be set right is different from Sam's.
that
Well,
sounds a lot like Martinez from the
I was
first
just
season.
about to say that. Yeah,
That is
they basically
100%.
they basically nail that with making it more about clashing ideologies and just mustache twirling with Richard Martinez, the antagonist of.
Or this is just
the
full
first
on
season.
camp supervillain from a dystopian future that is very much, yes, we are evil. Mwahaha! It's Dominion bullshit all over again.
Ugh, oh, God in heaven.
Now, oh my God. No, you know what we should have put on the goddamn? You know what I should have put on the wheel? 3 episodes of Deep Space Nine.
Yes, you've got Enterprise on here. you,
I gave Lane I can't add any more to the wheel.
No.
Only, like Frez,
No.
you can add something to the wheel. If you have 3 episodes of Deep Space Nine you think we should cover, or tell me those 3 episodes.
And we're done. And we're done.
I'm
we
not
can't
using
keep-
my spot on Deep Space. I mean, the first 2 seasons are good, but I have not ventured into the war, and I probably never will. Listen,
But,
I saw the Zindi War. No, not again, not again.
But anyway, hello. Hello and welcome to Revenge of the Nerds.
Yep.
Which is funny because I was reading the book and there's a cut line where Al did compare Sam as Arnold Watkins to Revenge of the Nerds, which not a flattering comparison.
Yeah, nor is the evil leapers comparison. Zoe, the hologram.
Zoe is the hologram. Yes.
Zoe's comparison to Sam's character with Woody Allen. It's
Uh,
worth noting that this episode came out in 1993, a few months, roughly half a year after the allegations regarding Woody Allen came out. Yeah. It's, to be fair to the episode, it was probably too late into post-production to make the edit, and also they were also on their final season, and this was 5 episodes before the ending, but at the same time, yeah.
I mean, at least when Quantum Leap did the Kiss from History of Woody Allen in season 1, it was 1989, and as far as I'm aware, he didn't do any nefarious shit back then that was public knowledge.
It wasn't made public until 1992.
Yeah. Either way.
Though some people did have some concerns given his films. Like, Manhattan, from what I've gathered, is very much a film about a guy hitting on a younger woman.
Look, I'm never watching a Woody Allen film. I have sworn
I
off
am
those.
holding off on watching Woody. My policy is I don't watch films by rapists until they're either dead or in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So
This policy has also kept me from
never-
watching Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, so I can never show. Sean. Superman Returns. I'm just marking that off.
I've already seen Superman Returns as a kid, and I thought it was mediocre, middling.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only good 2 bits in that is Luthor and Superman done as characters, but like one of those you can't talk about anymore because
great. Yeah, wow, what a fun movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're gonna have plenty of time to talk about
it. It's a movie where Superman is a deadbeat father who left his son behind to go to space and be sad. Anyway, on a related note, Sam is now a superhero.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of time to talk about superheroes in this.
But literally, the very first thing we leap in, like not even 10 seconds in, is we see Sam leap in, and he's hanging onto the front window of a Chevy Bel Air, going like, "Stop!"
Oh boy, it's a good leap in. You gotta admit it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and so we enter into the land of 50s frat fraternities.
Oh, hey, who's that leather jacket wearing musclehead who's gonna give Sam Beckett a knuckle sandwich? Why, he looks familiar. Oh, well, that's all right then.
Yes, he is absolutely the most despicable man who has ever lived. Barney Stinson.
Oh God.
Wait, is this
God.
the third time he's? So let's see. Neil Patrick. The thing about Neil Patrick Harris is that when he started his career, he was known as Doogie Howser.
Which
Over the course of his career, perhaps starting with this episode, he'd play a lot of roles that can be described as shitheads.
there's this guy, and he's in.
He was in an episode of Quantum Leap too. He was in it. He was in an episode of Murder She Wrote. He was in
God
another
damn it!
episode of Murder She Wrote. He was
Yeah,
in an
we're
episode of
watching
Murder
the
She
episode
Wrote.
of Quantum Leap he's in.
Yeah, he's gonna Murder She Wrote. He was in an episode of Murder She Wrote.
He was in Starship Troopers, where he dresses up in Gestapo uniform.
What the
Oh
fuck?
God.
What, you've never seen Starship Troopers?
Oh,
No.
okay. Oh, he's in that. Yeah, okay.
He's Barney Stinson, who is very much the kind of person who is on the Epstein files, and we will leave it at that.
And then you have him playing someone like the Celestial Toymaker in Doctor Who.
If I had a nickel for every time Neil Patrick Harris was dressed up in Nazi uniform, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
When the fuck
It's
was the other
deplorable
one?
that just happened.
I just said Starship Troopers.
No, okay, that one. Well, when's the other one?
The giggle. Yeah, when he's murdering the doctor, he's in Air Force. I think that's an Air Force uniform for a Nazi.
Oh yeah, that's
Jesus.
right. He's in a German air uniform.
Oh God. Oh Christ. Oh, ew. Yeah. We're just finding the worst shit here, aren't we? So, yeah, the entire the entire plot of this episode is the fraternity, the dude bro fraternity in the 50s is doing dangerous chicken races where you have to hit the brakes before you go off a cliff and die, and this is bad because it's really dangerous and it's unsafe for these kids. And so Sam has leaped into a kid named Arnold Watkins who attempts to stop this and other things as a masked vigilante named the Midnight Marauder.
I am charmed by the Midnight Marauder. We're not gonna lie.
I love the psycho-synergizing. I can't tell if it's psycho-synergizing or Sam just fucking with Al, when he's just like, the Midnight Marauder stands for justice and will fight. It's like,
but here's the thing though, is that the Midnight Marauder is Arnold using the tragedy that he is. But he's trying to do good, especially given his roommate is trying to go into the same fraternity. And you can tell they're friends, and he doesn't want his friend getting hurt. And he doesn't want other people getting hurt.
Yeah, you can see why the friend wants to be in the fraternity. It's very much, a fraternal reason. His father was in it, and his grandfather was in it, and so on and so forth. But at the same time, yeah, this is kind of dick moves on everyone's part. It's very much stock Revenge of the Nerds shit, with the jock bullies and the nerdy hero. We are not getting into the implications of Revenge of the Nerds because
one of these days,
this is better than Revenge of the Nerds. This is better.
One of these days we're gonna have to cover Animal Frat, and that's a lot better.
That still has a very bad moment in it. A couple of
Animal Frat. I'm probably gonna spend the entire time going, John Landis should be in jail. Landis should be in jail.
Listen. I've read a book about that whole Twilight Zone shit, and John Landis should be fucking locked up. This fuckhead.
Isn't that the guy? Is that the guy I'm thinking of who did the helicopter scene?
Yes.
Oh God! Why is he not in jail?
Kill him! Kill him!
Yeah, and if you do the timeline correctly, if he was in jail, Max Landis would never have been born.
God. Talking about fraternal things.
Sam's roommate has a very buddy relationship with a line about how Sam might not. Sam says that he's going on a date later in the episode, and the guy goes, "Oh, you're going with a girl, or are you?" Who not gonna judge, which
Uh,
is very much a '90s way of approaching the subject, but also has ties to the superhero genre as a whole. There is a modern reading of the superhero genre as being closeted, a more flamboyant identity that you have to hide from the normies around you.
mhm.
But you find community with the other flamboyant people. At the
and
same
for
time, though, there's a degree to which there is a derogatory read of superheroes as being gay as fuck, given that this was the early '90s and was Batman Robin? Which year was Batman Forever? This year or next year?
Now,
93 or
Batman Forever
94?
is 95, Batman and Robin 97. So we're a little off
yeah, it
from
would have been
Okay, so this is just out of. Oh, so we are midway through Batman Returns.
Batman Returns was the year prior, yes.
yeah.
Okay, so Batman Returns. Okay, so in a few years' time, we'll have uh, Joel Schumacher get utterly pillared for daring to make Batman queer.
Do we need to?
The
Do we need
nipples!
to?
Oh no!
Do we? Do we need to? Do we need to cover the song that Linkara uses every time Batman and Robin like that song? Do we
Oh,
need
no.
to?
The SNL skit, the ambiguously gay duo, which
Yeah.
incidentally was directed by Vera Drew. Like Vera Drew worked on SNL during that era and was in the animation department, so she was working on the ambiguously gay duo. And The People's Joker is very much a film about that.
yeah,
Here-
yeah. Like,
Here's something that you two don't realize. He's having this much awakened sense of this for the 90s, but he's having this in the setting of we are in 1956. Just to let everyone, this leap takes place in 1956.
right.
So for him to say that, for him, he would be reveled at the time as being, much more modern and stuff. Nowadays, we look at it and go,
Yeah.
Yeah, true. At the same time, I think the focus with the thing about prejudice and whatnot is that there was prejudice against gay people. We will be getting to Stonewall one of these days.
Running for honor.
oh yeah,
No,
Running
the
for Honor.
comics. Is that what the comic's called?
No.
No,
Running for
it's-
Honor is a TV episode about don't ask, don't tell, like in the 60s in the
Yeah,
military.
but we are also going to be getting to a comic about Stonewall itself.
Yeah, the Stonewall comic. Yeah, that's the.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
but,
Stonewall
so
comic-
We'll be talking about that later. But at the same time, a lot of things were ignored with coding. The language that they are being used is coded language rather than explicitly saying, "Or are you with a boy?"
It's just I like the roommate because the roommate, like, even given the fact that he's being for, the roommate is kind of trying to, he knows what Arnold's trying to do, but at the same time he's going, no, like, dude, this is the way it's been, this is the way it's gonna be, I have to do this my way. You're gonna get yourself hurt if you keep doing these stupid stunts.
Which
Yeah,
does go
Arnie,
into
for
Arnold.
all that he is factually right, is a bit much.
I kind of love the scene where Sam is like, oh no, the roommate. I don't even remember his name. Again, but the roommate's going to race, and Sam gets on his costume and is like, I'm here to save you, and I was like, he wasn't gonna die in the original history, right? Oh, well. And then he has to run from these angry frat boys.
Yeah, because he literally, like, again, Sam doesn't know that. Sam didn't, but that would have been something Arnold did.
Yeah.
He would have done that.
Which you could
Because
read
in the
as
original-
psychosynergizing.
Yeah, but yeah, because in the original history, Arnold would not have had a study date. He would have gone right out with, he would have snuck out, done that, go running off and hid.
No, in the original history, Arnie dies.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
dies on the first attempt, so he never would.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
died. Yeah, right at the leap-in.
So,
that
again,
particular save.
The reason why Sam is still there isn't because he has to do something. It's because Arnie needs fucking therapy.
Which
Yeah,
he gets.
yeah,
but
yeah.
while we're dealing with that, we of course have our evil leaper is trying to ruin everything. I really like how they do this, at least, because you're primed to be like, oh, they're coming back. I mean, even if you're watching in the 90s, like the paratext around this is, here's your 2-hour event about the evil fucking leapers. You know they're coming. You're looking out. And so the first girl that we meet, the boyfriend of Neil Patrick Harris and
the lovely homecoming. Yeah, the girlfriend, the lovely homecoming queen, which automatically, even if I'm going to tell you this right now, even if she wasn't the evil leaper, that I do not trust that woman.
Yeah. I don't. Well, she's probably a
Apparently
catty
she
sorority
did
girl.
change after being possessed by the evil leaper, so maybe she was a bit nicer in the original story, but
Maybe.
Then the evil leaper comes and goes, okay, hey, you have to ruin this kid's life.
Okay, well,
all of the kids.
To be fair to the I support everything, Sean, because she, not the actual evil leaper, before the leap-in, walks up and shakes hands with Arnold Watkins and is like, oh, hi, how do you do? It's very nice to meet you. Polite, nice. And then the leap-in happens, and oh shit, aliens here. So the rules for 2 leapers in the original Quantum Leap is that if they touch each other, the glamour of the leapee wears off and they can see each other for who they really are. It has to be physical touch.
Which is actually a really cool idea because, again, Sam can't touch... Like, it's literally playing off of Sam can't touch Al. Like, throughout the entire show. So it's playing off of that. If 2 leapers ever touched, the facade goes away. They know who each other is.
Yeah. And so you're waiting for the rest of the episode going, oh, are they going to touch? There's that scene in the library where they try to shake hands and he knocks over a bunch of books. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm a klutz. So it's like, oh, damn, that was so close. Yeah. You were so close to finding it out. Oh, Sam, you've got to find it out. They're plotting against you.
Yeah, and then Zoe figures out that Sam is a leaper that Sam's in Arnie because he keeps making references.
No, not just references. She literally watches him.
She's watching him talk to herself. It's like, Al, what do I do? Did he say Al? It's him. It's Beckett. My nemesis.
Revenge!
No, that's the next episode. This is Return!
Which makes me wonder if Zoe was a scientist on the original Quantum Leap project. Like, it makes me wonder.
Oh, you can make all the guesses you can about what their deal is, because the show sure as hell doesn't. They keep it pretty vague.
The best guess I can have, based off of just this episode, is that they come from an evil future where everything went horribly wrong, and they're trying to ensure that evil future happens.
So the mirror universe.
Yeah, it's mirror universe bullshit, right down to having, instead of 2 guys, it's 2 girls.
Yeah. Well, there's also... Mike has watched this one. In Revenge, there's this bit where Zoe, to influence things, she actually leaps herself, and then she gets a hologram, and it's a man.
Okay.
Who clearly got dressing tips from Arsenio Hall.
Oh, God. Well, we're not tackling
or MC Hammer or Mick Jammer.
Oh, good Lord. Jeez. But yeah, so Zoe is very arch and camp in this. I'm kind of here for it, even if even if evil leapers are antithetical to it. If I had to sit here and watch it, she's at least entertaining as a vamp.
She is a joy because, she is the one who's prodding Aaliyah to do it, because Aaliyah herself doesn't want to do this.
Yeah, whereas Zoe always dresses for the occasion.
Yeah.
If there was a 90s Doctor Who, if there was a 90s series, if it had continued in the 90s, I could 100% see Carolyn being like a master or an evil Time Lord, just from how she drips.
That fucking bit where, at the end, she goes up on a hill to watch the race. That pose she's doing with her hand on her thigh, she's like, yes.
I love how they just, instead of giving her a door, she just is edited out of the scene and then is edited onto that pose.
Well, to be fair, they've done that with Al as well. That just
Yeah, but still, it's absolutely delightful to see that kind of special effect. And I wish modern things did that more often.
it's good.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's the thing is that is another way of how you can tell each other apart. Al always uses the door. Zoe and back then the devil, you just bleeped out of existence.
Zoe has
That
a
was
door.
their thing.
Zoe has a door in this
No.
episode.
Oh, she did use the door?
Yeah.
Well, she used the door to enter, but every so often throughout the episode, she just pops out in and out of reality.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Whereas the
So their evil scheme is to make things worse for everyone, and the jock ends up cheating on his exams, getting thrown out, and not even his dad will hire him.
Yeah. I mean,
Is it bad to say that I'm not sad for the jock
No, not really.
after everything he's done and the fact that he cuts the funny enough
he
that
doesn't.
I think isn't he the one who cuts the brake line?
I think his
it's
number
Brad.
2 does it, but he knows about it and he's like, ha ha ha, good.
Why do it yourself? Why do it yourself when you can have someone else have the knife in their hands?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, the ending drag race where Arnie gets involved and has to race, yeah, the brake line gets cut. So I have no respect for any of these jocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, though we don't find out what happens to Arnie after this episode because we have to rush into the second part.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot going on with this particular. It's oddly paced because it clearly is made as a 90-minute movie and it's not exactly equally weighted, so it just sort of goes on to the next bit to continue on with the theme, because the big theme here that overarches these 2 episodes is, Sam wants to save Alia from the evil Leaper project because she's clearly doing this against her will, and if she fails in her leaps, they torture her, as they did in between Deliver Us from Evil and this.
Yeah, she seems a bit more willing to be involved with the evil leaps until she finds out, oh shit, this is Sam.
Yeah.
Then they have that whole bullshit about how the randomness theory, which you get their evil version of Ziggy is what's it called?
Lothos. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Lothos? Is that the name of the guy from Bill and Ted?
I don't know.
Wait, hang on. No, I think Lothos. I swear to God, I think Lothos is actually mythological. Hang on.
Isn't that one of the Fates, Lothos?
Lothos is the main antagonist of the Buffy movie.
Oh.
Evil Ziggy.
No, Clotho is the name of a fate.
Cloth. Okay. I was one letter off.
3 fates are Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, like Lothos, Lothos is a trip of his, because you find this out, like he does things that Ziggy can't even do. Like he's literally
the future.
Yeah, he knows the future right out and will go, no, this is what you do because this is how it will affect this.
Yeah. One of the implications of evil leapers is that they are from a further future than regular quantum leap. So that's one interpretation of it.
Yeah.
And it really is quite. This entire episode, this second part, is meant to be dealing with guilt. Sam has guilt that he couldn't help Aaliyah the first time, even though she tried to kill him.
You know.
Yeah, but Sam's got a warm heart.
He's
got a warm
he's
heart.
the living personification of a golden retriever. Of course he'll forgive.
Yeah. And he leaps into this superhero, this Midnight Marauder, who's got a lot of guilt on his own.
And this is where a strength of the whole thing, because before this you never saw like back at the project, but starting season 5 they did lots of these oh, let's flash to the waiting room and have Al interact with the Lee P, which we saw last time with Dr. Ruth, where Dr. Ruth gave him psychosexual therapy to get over his hangups. Well, we sort of reverse that now because Al gets to be the therapist to Arnold Watkins, and he has a rich and tragic backstory, and oh, he's just Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, it's literally Batman. And
No,
yeah,
it's Batman. It's literally it's worse. Well, I don't even want to say it's a worse Batman because Batman it was only just the parents. It was only just Thomas and Martha Wayne. Arch Arnie's
Archie watches. Archie leaves to get his coat, walks back in, and finds the restaurant he and his family were in all massacred by this one guy, who then proceeds to shoot himself in the head.
He's a
right in front of him.
ex-cop who
Right.
lost his job and went fucking crazy.
9 kids, lost his job, couldn't take the stress, walked into a diner, massacred the place, and then right as Arnie walks in, he sees that that alone would break most people. That would break most people.
And
it almost
this-
breaks Arnie. It almost breaks Arnie too, because when Al finally says, "No, this is you. You are that little boy who walked into the diner," Arnie says, "I should have died too."
Yeah, this is actually a long. I now get to have my long tangent about superhero shit.
I mean, we've got a comics
and
critic on this
line-
podcast. We might, and we're dealing with basically Batman. We might as well. So please,
Okay,
Sean,
so
go
there's
off.
Okay, so there's a long history of superhero comics engaging with the traumatic aspects of the characters. You can go back at the very least to Grant Morrison in the 1980s with Doom Patrol, which was about a superhero support group of people who were in traumatic incidences that resulted in them gaining superpowers. There are probably other precursors, most notably in Spider-Man comics, back when Steve Ditko was writing for the book. Spider-Man tried to get therapy twice. The first time, the therapist tried to make money off of Spider-Man, while the second time, the therapist turned out to be Mysterio. More in conversation with Grant Morrison, however, is JMD Mateus' Spider-Man run, which introduced the character of Dr. Ashley Kafka, who often acted as a therapist who tried rehabilitation rather than punitive forms of justice, who tried to help characters heal through their trauma, including Spider-Man in an arc called The Emmy Within, wherein basically Peter and Harry start to crumble over the mental strain of their fucked up relationship. More modern critics like Elizabeth Sandifer or Jennifer Blue have talked about superheroes through the lens of trauma, both in their essays and projects. And to bring a modern example, here's a series of lines from a controversial Batman run that ended a few years back. After the alley and the gun and the pearls, what use was I? After the blood on her hand, what use was a little rich kid whose mommy and daddy got shot? I was pain. That's all I was. Everything else, every chance given to me, every promise I'd made, all of it was pain. And what use is pain? What use is being just pain? It's not dignified. It's not kind. And if it's not dignified and it's not kind, then maybe it's not worth anything. Maybe it's better off as nothing. Gone. Dead. I was 10. I got one of my father's razor blades, and I got down on my knees. I put the metal on my wrist, the edge scratching cold, the blood on my hand. I looked up to mother and father. I told them I was sorry. I was so sorry. I was on my knees in Gotham, and I was praying, pushing my hands together now, the blood and the blade warm between them. I prayed, and no one answered. No one answered. No one answered. I was alone. Like everyone else, like everyone in Gotham. I saw everyone in Gotham, all of us. We're all on our knees, our hands together, the blood and the blade warm between them. We pray, and no one answers. I saw, and I understood. Finally, kindness, dignity. I let the razor fall, and I understood it was done. I'd done it. I'd surrendered. My life was no longer my life, and I whispered, I swear by the spirits of my parents to avenge their deaths by spending the rest of my life warring on all criminals. So that's what it is. The ears, the belt, the gargoyle. It's not funny. It's the choice of a boy. The choice to die. I am Batman. I am Superman. I am suicide. Shit, fuck. Yeah, so, yeah. Okay, so Frank Miller, okay, to answer your question, Mike, in the chat, Frank Miller is one of the most influential Batman writers of all time, and this arc is, in many regards, responding to one of the ideas brought up in Frank Miller's run, that being of, is this a good death?
Oh boy.
The ultimate culmination of the run, which was written by Tom King with a variety of artists, is that Batman is not, in fact, suicide is a choice. He chooses to keep living. He chooses happiness.
Wow.
So their heart is in the right place, but
it's an honest confession.
Yeah. I was about to say, if we mention heroes in crisis in this, this podcast will turn rapidly.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the context of the monologue was a letter written to Catwoman in response to her doing a bad crime, and Batman going, yeah, no, you didn't do this bad crime. I know for a fact you didn't do this bad crime because I know you. You as well as you know me.
Yeah, that... It really does show that, like, a lot of, especially nowadays, a lot of superhero guilt is just, it really is built off of that. It's built off of
trauma.
Yeah, it's built off of trauma.
Superman is a refugee from a dead world. Supergirl is Superman and Supergirl are refugees from a dead world. Spider-Man
Supergirl has it worse because she was sent to Earth to raise her baby cousin and ended up.
Supergirl. The difference between Superman and Supergirl is that Superman never knew Krypton. All he knew is the records and stories he's been told. Supergirl knew Krypton. She knew what it was like, and she lost it. Spider-Man lost Uncle Ben and learned the power of responsibility for his actions. There are consequences to what we do. Daredevil was blinded, and also his father was murdered. You could go on with various stuff. Really, I think the only main superhero who isn't bound by trauma to some degree is Wonder Woman.
I was about to say Wonder Woman, yeah.
Yeah, Wonder Woman is very much somebody who is more than Superman, an immigrant story. She heard the story of America and decided to come to the States to see this strange new world.
Well, that's because she was also bringing back a pilot who had crashed onto her island.
True, but she also heard stories but she could have just given him a boat. They could have just given him a boat. She didn't have to go with him.
Good point.
But I think
or they could have given him an invisible jet.
What stands out?
You were saying though, Frizz?
I was saying what stands out to me in regards to superhero guilt is that scene in the Batman: The Mask of the Phantasm, where Bruce Wayne is at his parents' grave going, I didn't count on being happy. I can give money to the police. I can do other things. Just please, let me be happy.
Yeah, there's various conversations regarding Batman and unhappiness. Grant Morrison's run is basically, okay, Batman is not the problem. Batman is the cure. And over the course of the run, Grant Morrison realizes, oh no, I was wrong. Batman is a problem.
Batman is a symptom of the problem.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Batman is.
And the result, Batman is a symptom of the problem, and the result is Nightwing, Nightwing, Red Hood, his own son. Batman has 4 sons, basically. Four sons.
5 if you count the sort of kid that he's holding it in because his parents got poisoned by the Joker, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah, good point. 5 sons. He has 5 sons.
6 if you count the starfish, which you shouldn't.
What?
long story. Anyway, Mike.
But yeah, it's just it really is that feeling of just like, and to connect it back to Arnold here, when like Arnold didn't even have the chance to confront the man who did this terrible deed, because he saw him shoot himself in that diner. So he didn't even have that bit of closure. He never
Yeah,
got closure.
you could probably compare it to Batman Begins, where Bruce Wayne, before he becomes Batman and is still very young, is going to shoot Joe Chill in the face, but he's beaten to the punch. And he doesn't even get that much. But other takes on Joe Chill involve all the early '60s and also the Batman the Brave and the Bold series, wherein Joe Chill is a weapons dealer who Batman goes, I'm the man. I am the son of the man you murdered. I am Bruce Wayne." And then a bunch of supervillains kill him upon realizing, "Hey, wait a minute, you're responsible for Batman." There's also the '80s one where
I was
in
about
Batman
to say
Year
the 80s,
2,
yeah.
where he teams up with Batman and to fight KG Beast. I think it's KG Beast. I don't really remember Batman Year 2. Nobody remembers Batman Year 2 compared to Batman Year 1, because one of those is very much one of the greatest comics involving Batman ever written, and the other is Batman Year 2.
And you're forgetting one that I know Fresno's jumping up and down. There's the thing where it turns out that Joe Chill and the Joker are one and the same. Hi, Batman 1989.
Hello, Tim Burton.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Yeah. There's that one. There's also Batman and Grant Morrison's Batman, wherein Grant Morrison has young Batman basically torment Joe Chill for nights on end, preventing him from getting any sleep before revealing that he is Bruce Wayne, and then Joe Chill kills himself. And the most recent of these is
sorry, what?
Yeah. Yeah, there are some dark turns in early Batman stories. Like, it's very much going in line with the early Bill Finger stuff, where Batman was more of a dark Avenger and had various people, and people end up dying at the end of his stories.
And then,
the most recent one with Joe Chill is in Batman 3 Jokers, where there have always been 3 Jokers. There have always been 3 Jokers. There have always been 3 Jokers. And the Joker's plan is to make Joe Chill the 4th Joker. Because Joe Chill is dying of cancer, Batman ends up preventing it, holds Joe Chill as he dies, and the end.
That was the one I was about to say, because no, that's probably not the one. I'm trying to remember one of it, because one of the Joe Chills I remember is the one where he actually asked for forgiveness, but I'm trying to remember which one.
That is that one, but I think there's another one that has Joe Chill ask for forgiveness, but I know that is that one. Also, Tom Taylor's current run on Detective Comics has Joe Chill's daughter as Batman's girlfriend.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of comics. They're bonkers, they're weird, but man, sometimes they make no sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Also,
anyway,
which, if we're being honest, is just Tom Taylor reusing the plot point from his Nightwing run, wherein Tony Zuko's daughter is dating Dick Grayson.
If I had a nickel for every time.
But if I had a nickel for every time the daughter or the niece of one of the bad guys is dating or is date. Actually, no, I can't even use that because Talia. I can't even use that.
There are a bunch of those. There are so many of those.
Cheshire, Talia,
Green Goblin 3 or 4, depending on how you count that. Yeah, the one from the middling Mayday Parker comics.
Does Lex's sister count? No.
Oh no, is she fucking Supergirl yet?
No.
Sophie Campbell is writing the comics, so it's very likely Supergirl is getting a girlfriend.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
So we're at now like 8. So we have like 8 nickels.
I'm just sitting
9.
here like, I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck is going on?
Wonder
What,
Woman.
Supergirl having the
Wonder-
girlfriend? Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, I think Wonder Woman has also had a relationship with one of the people's daughters. Like, fuck, who's that Golden Age villain who turned out the Golden Age Nazi lady? The Baroness
Boss
something.
Grabas. No.
Yeah, I think she
Paula
had
Van
daughter. I think she had daughter who Wonder Woman had a relationship with. Fuck, what else?
I can't. No. We're gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose my mind. We gotta finish the podcast. We can talk. I'm gonna lose my mind.
So the Evil Leaper is another example of somebody who is in love with the hero, who is also a baddie. Because of course, the moment you do female baddie, you want to have Sam redeem her with his cock.
Well, I mean, you haven't even seen Revenge of the Evil Leaper yet, but I mean, I'm not exactly disputing
Oh
that
my
reading.
god. Yeah, but anyway, so as Sam is careening towards this cliff, he screams at Aaliyah to jump out of the car. She does. She probably gets hurt. I think she does get hurt slightly,
Maybe that's
or she knocks herself out, or
maybe that's a problem for the next leap, because Lothos actually tries to pull her back to wherever the next evil leap, but then Sam holds on to her, and the power of good leaping overcomes the power of evil leaping, so they both leap to the next leap, and it's a good leap, I guess.
Because Al is screaming, because you can hear Al going 99.4, 0.5, fight back, Sam, you can do it. 0.7, 0.8, and
100.
100, and the two leap, and they end up in a female prison.
Yay.
Yep, where Sam is convinced of I think they say it next time, but Sam is allegedly a murderer, and the warden wants to talk to Aaliyah.
Yeah, it turns out that our two leapies are possible murderers.
Yay.
And also this is set in 1987, which is the latest, which is the most recent leap in the history of Quantum Leap for the TV show.
Pre-revival.
If you had realized, Sam, I don't think even Al tells him the date of when he's at.
Jeez, all he had to do was break out of this prison and hold up for 8 years, and he'd be back.
Yeah, like literally, this is the closest Sam ever got to coming home.
Yeah.
The leap back.
Let me check something real quick.
Yeah, the leap back. Yeah.
This is 2 years before season 2. This episode takes place 2 years before season 2, in between High Moon Express and Disco Inferno.
Okay, but also you have to keep in mind that Quantum Leap is the home of the project is the very near future. So the actual series starts in 1995.
The year I was born, and 2 years after the show ends.
Yeah. And so the present for Sam currently in season 5 is 1999, which we see in Killing Time.
Which you get to see the futuristic landscape.
The near future. This is how it looked in 1999, kids. We had
year.
No, it did. No,
6 or 7 years, it'll look like this.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that aesthetic. I really wish that New Quantum Leap could have somehow kept it, but I understand.
What I loved in New Quantum Leap is that they said that Al tried to create fashion and none of it worked.
It's funny. I mean, you've got leaps in New Quantum Leap that are set in like 1996, 1997, and it's like it's just the 90s, not the weird fucked up 90s, but our 90s. So.
Yeah, it's our 90s. But yeah,
it might be a bit too lore heavy to go. And then we have an episode of Quantum Leap set in 1999, and it looks like the Quantum Leap.
Speaking of lore, Sean, many things in original Quantum Leap are not referenced at all in the revival series. I mean, you have you have some crossover here and there. Sam is obviously a thing, Al's obviously a thing, but otherwise, some of the weirder bits are not referenced. Except the evil leapers are still canon. They look up a file when they're trying to figure shit out, and they look up a file like, oh, Sam Beckett had to deal with evil leapers. That's weird.
Yeah, and then I think they flat out said that Zoe survived.
I don't think
her end.
I don't know.
I think they said it.
I don't know. I don't.
Well, no. I think it was in the document. It said that she survived. What happens to her next episode?
Really? I have not seen that. I would have to go back and look at that. But yeah. But so yeah, somehow or other, despite everything, the evil leapers remain canon to Revival Quantum Leap.
Which I just want to say, it like okay, as a whole, the evil leapers idea is not inherently a terrible idea. Mm-hmm. It's when you start putting in what they did and how they took it. Yeah, it just...
Here's my take.
Sci-fi bullshit.
Here's my take.
Yeah.
Evil Leapers are a really cool concept for a discount, kind of shoddy sci-fi show. For Quantum Leap, doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. This is a show to me that is about, the little microcosmic victories, ordinary people, and their lives. With Return and Revenge of the Evil Leaper, it becomes sci-fi bullshit. You watch Revenge of the Evil Leaper, you're not thinking, oh boy, this person's been falsely accused of murder. I hope Sam makes it right. You're thinking, ooh, we're getting lore about the Lothos Project and what they're up to. I wonder if we'll get more lore bombs dropped. You've gone so far off the plot that it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it really, as they said, we are 5 episodes, as it was airing, this was the 5 episodes away from what would have been the finale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those 5 episodes are as follows.
No, don't say, don't say it yet. It's,
okay.
It's, we were 5, but even then, even right now, as we stood, they did not know if they were going to go, if this was the end, or if this was going to go seasons. I think they only figured that out like a couple weeks after this. I think they said that's when they found out
for season 6.
Yeah, they had a plan for season 6,
and we can talk about that when we get to Mirror Image.
That we will.
Yeah, we could talk about the plan for. I'm just saying,
in 4 years.
Yeah. But as this is described, do you think the evil leapers could have returned?
Well, actually, it's funny.
Probably.
The Quantum Leap books, there is an evil leaper book where it's like it's a leap to like a Renaissance fair or something like that. The book is called Knights of the Morning Star, and they're in the Renaissance fair. And Sam's in the Renaissance fair, and all of a sudden the evil leapers show up. Woo! And I think it's supposed to fill the gap. I think they're trying to between Deliver Us and this. So they're still, ooh, we're gonna ruin things, and we're gonna get revenge. You'll never escape us, Samuel Beckett. Shit like that. I don't know. I don't remember the book very well.
And then there's a book, and then there's a Quantum Leap book by the name of Independence.
Shit out of here. So we should get into our final thoughts on
Independence is the Quantum Leap book where Sam gets leaped back to the Revolutionary War, and lots of questionable things happen.
I said this last time, that you mentioned this last time, and I said it again, that it was written by John Peel.
Yeah, it's written by John Peel.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So sorry, I must have memory hold it because we watched fucking Zagreus in between that.
Wah wah. Yeah. So final thoughts on Return of the Evil Leaper, kids.
Okay.
It's okay. Like, I think specifically we need the second part to fully myth our thoughts. But yeah, as now, I really like. I mean, it is the best thing of the Evil Leaper trilogy. First part, god awful. Second, you got some good things. Third, it's a little stumbly, but it gets us there, and it's okay.
I
But yeah, it's pretty good. Again, it's pretty good.
I think it is. Yeah, I agree with you. It's the best one because it does have more of an emotional core and helping people. In this case, it's helping the Leapy actually, and there's delving into that interesting topic of survivor's guilt and whatnot, and genuinely making things better. But notably, it's Al that gets to do that, whereas Sam has to faff around with the Evil Leaper subplot, attempting to save Alia, which we really focus on next time. But good start, good start. But it's good. It's a decent episode of Quantum Leap with a good, solid emotional core. It's saddled a little bit by this Evil Leaper nonsense, but not terribly offensive like Deliver Us from Evil, or far up its own ass like Revenge of the Evil Leaper. Sean, what do you think?
I really don't have anything to add to that. It's fine. It's mid-tier superhero work that could be expected from the early '90s before superheroes really went insane and decided to cannibalize themselves for crappy comics.
And then Image Comics, and then Image Comics.
Early Image Comics, early '90s Marvel. I think this is right around the time that we were just about to have the death of Superman, and also Batman gets his back broken, which all are basically just ripping off Craven's Last Hunt. Right down to having a replacement who is a bit more violent.
Well, no, didn't Batman's back break, and then Dick Grayson took over? Is that the one I'm thinking of, or no?
Batman's back broke, and then John Paul Valley took over and became
that's right,
mass murderer Batman.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, both of those post-date JMD Mateus writing Craven's Last Hunt.
Yeah, and you've said some things about that comic book in the past.
Yes, it's a great comic.
It is a very good
So,
comic.
anyways,
what are we doing next?
Before we,
we're doing rain dances. We're doing rain dances to hope for a good one.
My turn to spin the wheel, and
here we go.
Here we go, folks.
Fresno picks an episode of Miami Vice.
Oh my God! Really?
So let me explain the sections before we end.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things on the wheel that we wanted to show that the Quantum Leap's message of putting right that once went wrong does not stop at just Quantum Leap. It spreads to a lot of media, and it spreads to a lot of different things, and spreads to a lot of different styles. This is one of those times. Next time we get to see how they take that in Miami Vice.
Yay! I have some ideas in my head for what we can do.
So where can you find us lovely people?
Okay, we can find us all on Bluesky at various handles that are linked down below. I am streaming every Monday night. Monday Night Fresno, 7 p.m. EST. Playing some stuff, doing some things. There are things in the works for the stream. Good things, that I need to sort out.
Playing Wizard of Oz on the SNES.
Not that. No. Yeah.
Playing the Exit 8 again.
I swear to God.
No, Platform 8. No. Platform 8 is actually better for him, because Platform 8 is you can just keep walking. Like that one, you're literally just
walking to a different. And
yeah,
also,
that one isn't.
And also, I have a new blog post that will be going up tomorrow if I upload this on Monday the 30th. A Canada Day celebration on the blog. So head on over to fresnosravingants.blogspot.com for that. Mike, tell me about your bloggeroo.
I've got my blog, right? I'm starting to pick back up Microhoovian Thoughts at blogspot.com. I have a letterbox that I'm trying to get working at the moment. And I'm also trying to write and do other things. And you two are really, really inspiring me to continue writing again, and I'm really excited. I just gotta fiddle around with this idea of a character Bible and write things down and write characters down. And hopefully I can get everything situated in my head. Nice. So yeah.
Sean, what are you up to?
I am in between projects. Very much, most of my rain can be seen on the beat, though I'm very much in between projects trying to get stuff written. And yeah, hopefully I'll get something done soon.
Excellent, excellent. Wow.
And then
Also in August, I'm putting this on my head. August, Twin Peaks reviews.
Oh boy.
episode 1, The Wizard of Oz.
Unironically.
Look, I have to set up there's going to be a 25-year gap. How am I going to... Like, you can't just go straight from Fire Walk with Me to The Return. You have to have some gap that's meaningfully sized, okay?
Yeah, that's true. But that's happening, and next time on Quantum Leap Reviews, because we've loaded up this wheel with ephemeral bullshit that somehow ties into the spirit of Quantum Leap, we're gonna go to Miami in the 80s and talk about Vice Cops. Oh boy, get ready for that. Until then, kids, you have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, all that jazz. Bye now.
Bye.